What we're doing here today is replacing the rear brakes on a Chrysler Town and Country, very similar to the Volkswagen and Dodge Grand Caravan. I do have the vehicle in park. I have the wheels chocked, and I'm going to jack it up and put it on jack stands and take the wheel off. I have the assistance air tools. If you don't, you'll need to break loose the tightness of the lugs before jacking it up. Next, you're going to take and remove the caliper bolts here. There's one on the top and the bottom. And then we're going to slide the caliper off the rotor. Next, I'm going to put a little wire through the caliper there and secure it to the strut spring here, and that way it falls down. It's not going to put any stress on the brake line. Next, I'll take the brake pads off here. And then we'll take the caliper bracket off. That's an 18 millimeter. Okay, next we'll remove the rotor. This one was rusted on a little bit. I put some penetrant in there and then knocked it from the back. That'll come off. And I'm going to clean all this rust up. Just going to use a little Scotch-Brite pad. Okay, under the hood, what we're going to do is just going to crack the reservoir cap for the master cylinder, and I'm going to push the fluid back in when I push the caliper back in. This needs to be turned back in. It is one of those integrated parking brakes and caliper. So inside the caliper here, you can see there's a little slot for a special tool. You can buy one of these cubes for under 10 US dollars. I had to modify it, cut a couple of tabs off to make it work. What we're going to do is push this in and turn it clockwise and push the caliper piston back in. Okay, if you broke the bleeder out open and push the fluid out there, make sure you close your bleeders and then put some new .3 in the reservoir, and we can put the cap on there. Next, what we'll do is take our slide pins out, clean all the old grease off of there with some brake parts cleaner, and then we will take some brake silicone and load it up again, push it in there and make sure it snaps on the boot. And we'll do the same for the other side. Our new brake pads came with new clips, so we can just take these clips off and discard them. Then we will take a wire brush and then clean up the mounting surface where the new clips will go. Okay, got this all cleaned up there. What you want to do is the little spring goes on the outside of each of these. It's a pretty snug fit. Next, what we'll do is take our brake pads and install them in the caliper bracket. It's easier to do that now than when to try to put the shoes in or the brake pads in when the bracket is bolted to the vehicle. Before I do that, I'm just going to put a very small amount of silicone brake lube on the ears here and then put them in the bracket holder. What you want to do is ensure these little clips on those ears are on those little springs there holding the brake pad there, and we'll go ahead and install that. Okay, we got all the rust cleaned up off of the hub there. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a brand new rotor on here. You can have yours turned if it's thick enough. I just went with brand new ones here. Take some brake parts cleaner and spray it down. It has a coating on there that's not good for the brake pads, and it's to keep it from rusting. So we'll go ahead and spray this down. I want to wear some eye protection, and then we'll take our caliper bracket and I'm going to take some red Loctite and put it on the bolts here and secure it on the back. Next, what I'm going to do is take some blue Loctite and put it on the bolts for the caliper, and we'll go ahead and attach the caliper. These are 13 millimeter. Okay, this is a caliper pin. When you're tightening them up, if they're spinning in there, there's two flat sides here. Just hold that with a pliers, or I think it's a 19 millimeter. Hold that while you're tightening that down. Make sure that these are tight. I'll remove my little wire here, and we're ready to put the wheel on. Doesn't hurt to give it a little tap to make sure they're on there snug. I'll put the wheel on and just start the lugs by hand. Then I'll run them down with the impact. Okay, now that the vehicle's on the ground, I'll go ahead and torque the lugs on both sides. Now that the wheels are torqued, they can remove the blocks under the tires. Next, what you're going to want to do is step on the brake, release it several times till the pedal gets firm, and then we'll cycle the parking brake a couple times. One last thing, after you pump the brakes up and take it for a little ride, you may have to top off your reservoir again.